Boy, oh boy, who doesn't appreciate some nice, good old technical problems right before going live to 10 million people? Main camera stopped working just before the stream. I don't know why. I'll figure that out later. It's a technical glitch. It turns on and everything, and it connects to the computer, but it doesn't do the camera thing, you know, where it shows you what it sees. Anyway, that's okay. We'll just rock with the old webcam today, and that is just fine. So you won't see my hands playing on something unless I adjust the camera, but you know what? I don't really have amazing hands anyway, so I don't think we're missing out on anything there. Anywho, welcome to the old streamy stream. Today is part 4 of creating a EP using just one synth, which in this case is Lunacy Audio's CUBE. Let's go ahead and show this here. Boom. So, the goal is to make a 5-track EP, and we're going to be utilizing these as sort of our lyrics slash poem slash song title. So each one of these lines will be a song title. We have made pretty decent progress on this so far, and have a lot of different track ideas already lined up. And so now, what I did after last stream was I kind of did last stream was like a blitz round of just creating, I set like a 10-minute, 15-minute timer and just like created as many song ideas as I could to kind of score the CP and sort of try to follow each of these lines. And after the stream, I sort of organized what I had and sort of picked some of my favorites and kind of just made a scrap folder and also like some backups. So I have like a few different song ideas for each of these things, which gives us sort of the flexibility to edit these songs up a little bit more and see what we have and where we have holes left. And so that's kind of what we're doing today, is sort of assembling this EP with the songs we have and touching up some of the songs and making it a little bit more cohesive from track to track. Yeah, so let me go ahead and do this. Boop, that one. You can see more what we're working with here. So we're working here in this concepts folder, and we have this CUBE EP. If there's a and I've essentially these are like the top 5, right? So track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corresponds to each one of these lines, and we're gonna kind of just run through each of these, and I kind of gave a quick list of some of these again. I don't like some of them. Some of them I do like. Like this would be track 1, cube upon a cube upon a hill. So it's sort of introducing the cube. Will definitely be. I like this. This is probably my favorite track of the whole thing so far. Sort of just kind of a build up. It's kind of spooky though, so it could be used for this Whispers of Warren Teal as well. Ominous reveal. Because it kind of has a concise ending, I think that would also make it a good candidate for Whispers. Some of these other ones I know I'm not as big of. I'll demo them real quick. This one, the sound's kind of intense. This one sort of picks up to like kind of builds into this drop. had more appeal to me initially. So we'll probably, I think a cube upon a hill will become Whispers of War, and we'll find a different one for the cube upon a hill, which is sort of like just the intro of the cube, where you don't necessarily know that it's like this ominous evil thing yet. And then, yeah, so basically cube appears, nobody knows what it is, and then they kind of learn these ancient secrets from it, realize it's probably dangerous, and then the thing is dangerous, and then the line Chaos Spread comes in, so you get more of like an intense track. I think this one starts kind of uppity, but then like transitions to spooky, so I'd probably chop the intro. Like this intro doesn't sound very chaotic or moving. So I'd probably kind of start from here instead. Sort of goes into this sort of pumping track where the premise is like the cube is now like on the hunt, so it's like intense and like high action and stuff. And the kick there is not cube, so I'll have to it's actually just a kick for something else, but I can, cube is also a sampler, so I can pull kicks into cube and like run the sampler through cube, but then it's still technically a one synth EP. So that one I think we can probably work with. Bloodlines End is kind of interesting as well, and I've considered consolidating Chaos Spread and Bloodlines End into one track, but that's kind of the advantage of what we're doing here, is we're not like locked into like this format of 5 tracks and like telling this sort of like poem thing. I could rewrite it to make it work with what we got. At the end of the day, I just want to get this thing out there and share it. Gotta tame those little howls, but it's a very spooky track. And the track ends there, but I can hear it going into that's sort of just like, I think this probably came from just our 15-minute little splurge session, so I couldn't get in too deep with the arrangement, but I can see that little breakdown section then leading into like a really intense like percussion based sort of insert adjective here, or noun, or whatever. So this one would be Souls Eternally Sealed. So this is like the cube is now sort of like consumed these souls and is sort of like going on about its day and taking rest or whatever. This track might become the first track, because I have some other little sub options here for this last line that also would work. This one's pretty basic though, it's not much going on. So pretty empty arrangement. But yeah, so I basically have organized those as sort of the top 5, but then I have these, anything I didn't want, I put in this rejects folder. I have standbys for ones that were kind of interesting, but kind of put aside. And I have some like options, alternate options to some of these tracks entirely. But I want to try to wrap up some of these tracks. So we're just going to open one up in a session. And I really like this Cube Upon a Hill one. I'm going to, before I even open it, just go ahead and duplicate it. Oops. And then I'm going to change this to version 2. And that'll just let us keep our original one intact. We'll just work in version 2. I guess while it's opening, here's just like some other alternates. Oh, my live is minimized is why. Where's live? Okay, so actually so this is the track. Just getting re-familiar with it here. Trying to figure out what's what here. Didn't do a good job naming. Sort of like our arps and our plugs. This sound, I love this sound. This sound is so awesome. I think that this track really speaks to the complexity of sounds that Cube has to offer. I think that sorry, I just want to make sure my audio was fine there. Notice something funny looking. Because you can see, like, this is just a pedal tone. Like, we're just holding G here, and this song is in G Phrygian, so minor scale, but the second note is also flat. Here it's just holding a G. Here it's also just a G, and here it's a G. So you just have a bunch of notes held, but you get these just like ridiculous, like complex sounds. And it's just really interesting. So it becomes more about texture and like complexity than it does anything else. And then of course in here you have this, you have like a melody section here with these winds. That sort of is the first melody you get. So the rest of it is just kind of building tension and suspense. Now, if we wanted to sort of create like a chord, we could orchestrate these a little better so that instead of them all being G, they could be something else. But then it wouldn't necessarily play as well when you get into like these melodies here later. So I know initially what I was thinking is instead of this this sound, this Bram sound sort of carrying in all the way to the next one, I was going to maybe mute it and have sort of like a moment of silence in between each of these. Right there, just like cut it off there. And I actually almost thought about what would it be like if we cut everything off there. Just like it messes with that though. also trying to take into consideration of ways to. It's located outside the project folder. Is ways to extend the length of this arrangement. Oh, that's strange. Where is the project folder? That's my project folder did get separated. That'll be a concern for later, we'll say. There now. Now I could replicate on the rest of these. The thing is we have this note going, and because of the complexity of Cube, which essentially has a this orb which sort of moves around this cube. Not all of them do. Some of them are the orb is static. But I don't necessarily want to re-trigger the MIDI because that will potentially reset where that little orb is hitting the different samples, because the way Cube works, which I should probably explain, hence why, since we're making this whole thing off this, is that you have 8 different sample slots, and each one of these sample slots is tied to a corner on the cube, and then this orbit dictates how close this ball is to one of the corners, and the closer the ball is to the corner, the louder that sample is. And these are, this is on some of them tied to a key press, it changes the orbit. So if I were to cut like this MIDI note in half, which extends this whole length, then it could potentially, like if I want to have a gap here and I restart that MIDI note here, it could restart where that orb is at on the rotation, and it's going to re-trigger the sample and make it sound a little bit different and change its orbit. So I don't necessarily want to do that. So what I could do is group these together and say, let's just tension group, I guess. Tension bus. And then I can put a utility on this bus, which is grouped of all of these. And I can just add some automation right in the same spot here. Boop, boop, and just go ahead and, oops, pull that down, and it'll just straight up mute those entirely. Now, it'll also get rid of the reverb tails because those are in the plugin. They're not processed externally, so it will mute that also. I don't know if it'll be too stark of a gap. I could also just tail it off like that, so that way it, let's see, where's my curve button? Do a gradual audio change. That's too much. This isn't too much content. Maybe we will dip it, but just a little bit. And let's adjust this curve so it's actually going the other way. Fade a little more on the Bram. What's our release time here? Could just even remix that. That's kind of dope. So maybe have this one stop a little earlier, or we'll actually do a similar thing here where we'll hit this with a utility, and we'll automate the utility here to fade, perhaps. And we want another one of these here, so let's copy this automation and paste it there. perhaps we... Oh, that was making... Oh, interesting. I pasted the automation, but it seems to have done something worse. I have to undo some stuff here. I just wanted to copy this automation, and it accidentally copied the whole track, whole bus. There, there. Oops. There and there. Okay. And I think I'll also extend these ARPs out here a little scoosh. Kind of buy us some tail time on this track. Maybe see if it leads into something else. Now, the only way I could see this building into something else is if we have this section, but like even more pronounced, which would be repeating a lot, so I'd have to find like another sound. Let's get rid of these audio tracks. I do not need those. We're only working with Cube, baby. So if I could find some kind of like intense, really intense sound to come back here. Let me see, let's set my pad here to G Phrygian. I'm working on the Array Touch today, which is this fun little guy here. It's an MPE controller, but we're not set up for MPE with Cube, so I'm just using it for nice slides and such. Did not save my key change. G Phrygian. So let's find, so like Rumble has some really very aggressive sounds. Go dirty. Let's just click into one. Let me also, just because we are coming into this section, bring our little Bram de Lambs back. Because we could do like 4 more hits of the Bram. I guess I could bring this whole section there also. Let's go ahead and take here to here. And paste it there. Oh, didn't take my clips. Ah, geez Louise. See how not having that melody makes a huge difference? Like, this little wind melody makes such a huge difference. Like, it makes it intense, but it also like lightens it up a little bit. This, of course, the arms are missing also. Just total different vibe. It's Ransby. Hello, Ransby. I thought you would be asleep for sure. But he's here dabbing in the chat. I didn't know there was a dab emoji either. That's fun. That's fun. Man, it is wild how much of a vibe change it is without that wind in there. Voice is a bit quiet. Thank you. Also, probably just my computer audio is probably just also popping too. So I wonder if we can find another melodic type sound in here that's really intense. Looking for a rock on a Bushido. Death's Door. You know, honestly, despite it being a no popping, just sounds awesome. No popping's always good. This might just end up being a minute and 42-second track. Like, I really don't want to mess with the arrangement more. Like, it's so basic, but like the whole point of this song of this track is, you like my coach in the back? Oh, couch? Yeah, it's a futon. it's a fold out. So the point of this track was to sort of build the tension, and I kind of don't. It just seems weird to have a song that's only a minute and 40 seconds. But when you listen to a lot of soundtracks, there are a lot of shorter songs. One of the things I'm doing with this EP, I don't know if I want to say it yet because I have to figure out all the logistics. But I would like to release it as a Creative Commons track with downloadable. You can like download each section so people can use it for like scoring their own like little cinematic things they're making on YouTube or like on streams or whatever. Sort of trying to game the system a little bit more rather than try to even make any revenue off of streaming services, since that's just like not a very feasible thing to achieve. So maybe this is only a minute and 40 seconds or something. I don't really have any better ideas to build a second section. Like this section, like the surprise of that hitting and getting that dark in the track is hard to replicate a second time. So I think I will say good riddance to this section, and maybe I'll just have this outro just tail on a little bit. Perhaps I can even add on transit here and find something that allows me to tail out. Let's see if there is. I don't really like that the presets on this are organized by the person who made them rather than what they are. I would rather have folders organized of what they are, so I can find what I'm looking for better. So let's go ahead, user. Let's map this dial here to a knob. Got a knob now. And then I wonder what this sounds like if I use this to fade this out. Oh, you know what? That says gritty delays. I thought it said gentle delays. That's not what I was looking for. Liquid. Man, some of these actually increase the volume quite a bit. Put a compressor on here. You really never know what you're gonna get with with transit, I'll tell you that much. White out. Interesting. Not really liking these. What do I have designed? I have one designed. There's one with my name on it in here. I don't know. I don't know what the end will be yet. The other thing I got to do is figure out the exact flow of the album, and that'll sort of dictate what goes where. Okay, I will export this version later. I want to make a little note here so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. So export this. I don't want to do it on stream because it kind of takes a minute. Export. I guess what song are we in here? We're in Cube upon version 2. Okay, so this one might just be sort of this just intense track. Another one I know that I didn't mind in here was this Bloodlines End. This is, I'm just going to open it up and we'll play it when it's open, because this one definitely needs some work to it. No diggity, no doubt. I've also had half a mind to rewrite our little poem here, which, by the way, is a limerick. The track titles are a limerick, and they use a rhythm. So it's 6 syllables, 6 syllables, 3, 3, 6. So the whole thing is 24 syllables, which also means Chaos Spread and Bloodlines End could technically be one line if I just wanted to have 4 6-syllable songs. So I was trying to do a little poetry with writing this also. I guess I could stick it up here since I don't have my main camera. Okay, this track is Bananas. And then it has a really spooky sound on it. Let's just press play, and I'm going to do a little live mixing as we're listening here. I have some automation on this track. Why do I have that there? That last note is an accidente. Okay, so this could build up into a something much larger than this. This was one of our little 10 or 15 minute splurges, so it's like a super fast arrangement. This is Bloodlines End, so it's dark. Doing some naming here also. So I could, with this section, add this back in. Oops, sorry. That's not what I wanted. I thought there was another. I thought I had another melody in here. I'm losing my mind. First of all, let's save this as version 2, because I am no doubt going to really mess this up. Not a bad way, just retain the original. Okay, so if we could find like some sweet, actually on that last track there was a really cool preset I found that I actually kind of like. That I think would play well with this, if I can remember what it was called. I remember how I found it. It was under Rumble, Filters, Dirty. It was Behemoth. It was not Nope, I don't have my thing armed. Okay, and I forgot to name what this was for my key, but I set this one here to E flat Dorian. I think I did that on one of them. Dorian, E flat. Okay. It's not gonna work here. Man, it's actually, once you get into a lot of layers of... What am I hearing on this? What if I can find something it's like melodic? Let's go to search all of them. Lunacy picks, kind of... I find that when you sort this plugin by Lunacy picks, makes it a little easy. It kind of removes a lot of the fluff. Let me get my foot pedal situation set up here real quick. I got a yoga block normally at my feet. Man, I just don't know. I do like this sound though. I'll save that preset. Lonely Whale. What if we hit Lonely Whale with some like intense distortion? Make sure our compressor is on because You know, I'm realizing, despite having... Is that set... It almost makes me think there's a like a pitch bend or something automated onto here, because it doesn't seem like I'm playing in here. There's pitch bend, but it's not knocking us out of the park here. Pitch bend here as well. But again, yeah, so that's sort of the trap I'm running into, is that the sounds are like really cool textures, but like in terms of like, and it's a texture I want for what this EP is. It's not really supposed to be like a master class in composition as much as is like just having fun with playing with different textures and creating a vibe. But it's really hard to build other sections because the sounds are so complex, and I mean, it's not like these aren't going to have like lyrics over them or anything. 14 days, return right, perfect January challenge. Yeah, I mean, I actually do hope to have this done by the end of January. I wanted to have it done like the end of like November or October, but of course things didn't work out that way. I think there needs to be probably even just like a separate percussion in here. That's all there is for percussion things tabbed. There's like 7. Doesn't seem right. Man, I'm in a rut with this one. I think I need to get rid of this. Let's not have these here. I think it's just this should be a build up, and then this section should be something else. Delete that. We're just playing around for now. That's kind of cool. It's like a whole vibe just in and of itself, just one preset. That doesn't really fit with what we're doing here, though. So I think what we got to do, actually, you know what I think it's time for? Let's go ahead and clear this. Where's my... Just want to like initialize. I forget how to initialize in this thing. Feels like a bunch of elves should come dancing. A bunch of elves. Seriously, how the heck do I... Why am I spacing on how to initialize? I guess there's one way to initialize. Go ahead and delete cube and just add it back to the track. While doing acid. Someone's still in the Christmas spirit. So I think what I'll actually do here is let's explore some just sounds, not presets, but just see what sounds are in here. Let's go that percussive. There's some good impacts on here. There's no doubting that. That one's my favorite. How is that percussive? Okay, let's like have that one here. And let's also throw on one of these impacts. Let's hit this with some really intense compression. I'm just going to record that in here as just a quick hit, and we're going to build more on it here. That does not work at all. Man, did I back myself into a hole on this EP? Or am I just, maybe I'm just thinking about it too hard. Just casually recording in the wrong spot. Yeah, I probably could release some of them now. Maybe I shouldn't be. I'm trying to touch up the ones I do like. Maybe I should not be messing with the ones I do like and touch up the ones I don't like. I think you have a point. I think you have a point. I'm going to move on from this song. That's almost like opening up another B section. Okay. Because I didn't really have too many notes coming into this one to change other than like general mixing stuff, which I kind of just did. So I think maybe we'll move on from that one. Okay, so one I know that needed some work was this, at least chopping the intro off and maybe changing some sounds around, is this one about chaos spread. This is like the cube has like come to life and is now murdering everybody. Boy, big one. This one's taking a while to load. We having like an issue here. About to see a crash. There it is. We're gonna go ahead and save this as version 2. Oh, before I do that, I didn't denote a. I note what key this one was in anywhere. Here I have a melody. Did I maybe put a scale thing on here? D sharp, F sharp, C sharp. Are we in C flat Dorian also? Maybe. F sharp. I think that might be in D Dorian also. D flat Dorian. No, D sharp Dorian, excuse me. I won't save the title with a name because I'm not certain. Version 2, maybe D sharp Dorian. Okay, this one. Sorry. Suspense. I keep looking at that camera. My main camera isn't working today. Sorry, let me go ahead and just turn down everything. The intro I know I'm cutting off because it's too uppity. So that's that one. I'm going to just set aside, well, I'll just deactivate for now these intro parts. I was curious how the song started with just skipping that. That's a pretty intense thing to just drop into. I almost like that siren sort of being a like a breakdown leading into. Oops. Look at that drop. And I also have to pull this kick out because technically this kick is just using a sample. It's not actually using Cube, so technically it's not all Cube. But Cube is a sampler, so I think I can load that into Cube and get away with it there. Okay, so let's. What was this? Which one sound was which here? It's not as uppity as this melody was. because it hell malfunction there. Yeah, B cams are nice. I don't know. My camera's working, but it's like not working with the computer the way it's supposed to. I did update my OS. I was like 2 versions behind, so it's likely that when I updated my operating system, now my Canon doesn't work for my computer. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. One of them things. But another issue I was having that was much worse magically fixed itself, so that's fine. Trade-off, I suppose. Okay, so I have to figure out how to lead into this. Just gonna record a diddly. Let's back this up here. Looks like I already did. It was so the issue was my Scarlett interface. For some reason, like I'd use OBS and I'd use Max for Live or Ableton Live. Anything that was like an actual good audio software, it would pick up my microphone just fine. But if I went into like Zoom or like Google Meets or whatever, my main mic wouldn't work. It would just like you'd pick up my audio for like literally a quarter of a second and then it'd shut off and I'd be muted for a while, and then like I'd keep talking and people could hear it was me talking, but you'd only be like a quarter of a second playing every 3 seconds, and it would only happen with like Discord and Zoom and all that stuff. So I always had to like change my audio configuration, use my other audio interface, and like flip stuff around. But that magically disappeared even before I updated my operating system. It was just like a weird issue that was happening for like months. It was very frustrating. So if I wanted to go into Zoom, I had to like reconfigure everything. It was not a big deal. It was just like, I mean, I have it set up pretty slick down here. I got a little box down here it's a whole like routing system down here. So it's just like flipping a couple inputs, but it meant I couldn't like send my desktop audio into my other interface, which was used to like record stuff. So it limited what I could do in certain things. But that's now not a problem. And now it works in all the things. So it was a problem I'd spent like hours trying to fix, and I just couldn't figure out what the issue was, or whether it was driver or what, because it would work in some software and not others. It was very, very strange, but it fixed itself. So. Okay, so since this is sort of the chaos shed, we could start with something that's like maybe something kind of patty. I think the camera thing, I just have to maybe restart my computer or something. It's probably something easy, because it reads that it's connected to the computer and the Canon utility picks up, but yeah, it's something to figure out. It's only an issue for streams, but luckily I have another webcam, but now I don't have my B camera, but it's something I'm sure will resolve itself with time. Okay, I'm going to open up threads on this one, which is like strange stuff. I'm actually going to try to find like an interesting pad. I've already got this one favorited. Mod here is a tiny bit of saturation, but what if we modulate it to where the macro? Okay, this might be maybe a build up rise in here, a little riser action. Just start with some tension. I need to not maybe do a pitch bend here, just record it as is. Also, I forgot to turn on my automation. Okay, that sounds funky, but I'm going to trust the process here for a second as I'm layering. Wondering now, maybe if I find something kind of windy, sort of make it seem as though we're forming like a soundscape, like it's sort of like you're kind of into like a barren landscape thing. So we'll go to air. Let's find something organic. If it's too organic, we'll add reverb. That one's got some rhythm, which is kind of interesting because we will have like a kick later, so establishing rhythm early on and then hitting that breakdown with the siren could be interesting. But we can add rhythm to anything. There's an arpeggiator in this that we can use, so... What does this sound like if we have an arpeggiator going? Only thing is you got to do it like to every single sound, which is kind of annoying. Let's see if there'd be a sound inappropriate to arpeggiate. Probably that one. Might even mute that one. Okay, so we'll add an arpeggiator to C and D here. Alternate our velocities. Maybe add a little bit of envelope action here. Which will unlock the ability to change our length a little bit better. Wonder what this sounds like transposed down. Let's try the other one. Yeah, I would say that is probably one of the marketing areas I am a little stronger is email marketing. Okay, let's record that Slayer onto here just to see. Kind of lost context. That is quite the difference of sections. I almost need to, I wonder if I duplicate driver here. just straight duplicate the track. Although I actually was just looking for the preset more than anything. Probably don't need to duplicate that. Hopefully I didn't bring any over weird automations. Yeah, if you're trying to get an email marketing, we could have a discussion. I could tell you what I know, see if you think it's useful. Yeah, I've been actively building an email list. It's one of the things I've been doing, but I'm very cautious not to send too much stuff to it, but it's sort of on standby as I get more content ready. But I prefer that as a main form of marketing for all my like freelance client work I do. It's pretty awesome. Let's turn off the arpeggiator. And then let's go into here and add us a little envelope action. I wonder if I can copy this envelope to all of them. No. Wish I could just copy the envelope to all of them. That's okay. It's pretty quick. Quickity dickety. Decay. Sustain. Because we're working on a different instance of this, we can mess around with our currently your favorite friend. You too, Ransby. Wait until you learn the ways of email marketing. I'll show you everything I have to offer. One day we'll start our own new music industry company. We'll rule the world, you and I. Okay, so I'm wondering in my head if there's a way I can fade into an arpeggiation. And I'm thinking, yes, there is. I know a way. Okay, so we're going to group this into an effect rack. We're going to duplicate it, which is going to be kind of heavy on the processor for a second. Cube is no joke. We're going to go to the chain here. We're going to extend both chains this way, that way. Okay, okay. And then we'll fade the chains like this. Okay, so now we should have an audio fade between two chains. And on one of these chains, two chains, we'll have an arpeggiator. And I'm going to match the arpeggiation we had set up in this preset. Actually, better than matching the arpeggiator in the preset, why don't I just copy that preset and bring that one over here. Literally just paste the arpeggiator preset with all of them turned on in here. And then I will map map this to this chain selector. Now we have this knob that will move our chain through the two different ones. I don't want it to fade in that fast, so let's start it like maybe here. And then I want to map that to this knob I have over here off screen, which you can't see, and thanks to my camera not working. But I have now mapped it. Actually, maybe I mistakenly mapped it to the wrong thing. Hang on. I'm going to do what I just did. What's happening here? Why is my faithful companion Control Z not working properly? There it goes. Thank you. Let's map this to a different knob. Actually, I mapped it to a knob I may have already had like 20 things mapped to in this session, so I realized I had to choose a different knob. Where is my, I think I undid too far and I undid my copy paste. Put this here. Delete that. Paste that. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, the other thing I think I'm going to also do is assign this knob also to map this to this volume here because it's kind of not fading the way I want it to, and I'm going to make it fade the way I want to using this. And I'm going to do that by let's have that set to 0. I think even just having that set to that will actually. Yeah, even just having it like that. Okay, cool beans. Let me record that and see if that was all a huge waste of time or not. Oh, had my thing set to the wrong setting. Also, not recording somehow. I need to fade in faster. This is also perhaps not working. I don't know. This song, honestly, has sort of been on the chopping block. Anyway. Because I knew it was going to be difficult to work with, and I don't think this solves our problems. Hey, Panda. So, what I'm going to do is maybe we'll take a break on this track. I'm glad you think this track is cool, Panda. I am borderline ditching it. At least for this use, maybe. We'll see. So what other things do we have in here? What do we got with Whispers of Warren? Cool Depeche Mode. Yeah, it's got like this cool little drop in. I like this section. I'm just trying to figure out how to really I don't know. Know what? No to ditching it? add lyrics to it. Well, this is definitely not a lyrics album. If you want to add lyrics to this, I will send it to you. You can add lyrics to it. I wouldn't even know where to begin adding lyrics to something like this. I think I had. So was there standbys for this track? No, there wasn't. I had rejects probably for this track, but Don't Ditch It is awesome. We'll see. I might not. I just have to figure out how to make this transition work. I just don't like. I mean, obviously that transition is whack, but oh, it's also playing. I didn't realize I was playing chords here as well. I've also had an octave lower than this playing. Lyrics to it. I just don't even know what I would. Ooh, I'm dancing, singing, dance, sing. Okay, just to check. Let me mute this on here. Check. Dance, sing, dance, sing. Groove, bass, dance, sing, groove, bass, dance, sing, groove, bass, kill, cue, search, destroy, gap, hunt, end, joy, death, destruction, chaos, earthquakes, dance, bass, dance. Is that what you were thinking? Are these the lyrics that you're writing? Is this what I'm supposed to sing? That's all. Check. Enter my dreams and killed my spirit, floating above earth, weightless, magical. Are you evil or good? Dance, 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 dance. Evil. Am I good or evil? True, evil, but evil. Brad space, words, lyrics, on, here we go. Could add a altar boy me. Hello, hello,
Hello, hello. Dance, even, spirit, bass. I'm not even sure how to rhythmatize your lyrics. Are you evil? Are you good? Floating above the weightless. You entered my dreams and killed my spirit. Floating above the weightless. Are you good? Or are you evil?
Get me out of here. Ah. Silly billies. That's ridiculous. I can maybe make you a mix down. I'll do it not on stream though, because that'll take a little bit to export it all. This was another track. This was Warren, Shifting Gears. could also work as a... Okay, so something I think I'm going to do. A decision will be made right now. Right now, I'm making the decision that what I thought was going to be my first song is going to be my second song. I think this will be Whispers of Worn to Yield, because it has an airy sound in it that sounds like a, whisper, and there's like that ominous dong at the end, which is like, that's spooky, and that will lead into this thing fucking killing everybody. So I'm making the decision right now. This one is not going to be Whispers of Worn to Yield. It will be, I will say it's a backup though. Backup, Whispers Standby. Cube Upon a Hill is now officially to Whispers of Worn to Yield. And that is a song I know definitively is going to be on this EP because I love that track. Whisper Standby. So I have so these Whispers one are no longer necessary, but I'm curious now if I can flip one of these into maybe a Cube Upon a Hill. But also, so the thing with a Cube Upon a Hill is it's like identifying that there's a cube. So it's saying, hey, something's here, but you don't necessarily know if it's like ominous or not. So this can be a little bit more like major scales and stuff, well, not major. Mixolydian is the most upbeat it'll go, which is a major but with a flat seventh. Chaos Spread and Bloodlines End is obviously fucking intense. And I know Bloodlines End is going to be this track that we were working on. Because that's just like the action is done. This cube has killed everybody. So that I know is going to be there. So we have 2 and 4. I'm locking those in. Like, more mixing needs to be done on Bloodlines End, and we did that earlier, and I'll see if I can change more later. The Souls Eternally Sealed is also, because it's like the cube is now, because we're trying to tell a story with this whole EP. So this cube is now like consumed all of the souls. So it's like dire and sad in that like everybody's now dead, but it like gives this cube life, and it's still like cryptic as to like what this cube does. And so the cube is like now active, or maybe it just enters into dormancy again. One of the things I was thinking is this cube is like risen out of the ground. I have other artwork that shows it like rising out of the ground, like something like that. Right, so it's like this ancient cube, and so it can kind of, that song can sort of be sort of like an ancient sort of thing. So either the first song and the last song don't have to be these like deathly crazy things, right? They're more like ancient and mysterious, right? More than anything else. So currently the Souls Eternally Sealed that I set is this track. I'm going to skip through it a little bit. We have some rhythm coming too, but this could also work as a Cube Upon a Hill. Hi, Ransby. Have a wonderful night, good sir. We will link up on the email marketing thing. I'll lend you my knowledge. But thanks for hanging out. I know it's late for you. It is. I know the time there. It is 1 a.m. there, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's late. So this one could kind of go either way. I like this. I like this track. Whether it fully fits, I don't know. But I do know I have a backup, Souls of Souls, which has sort of a very mysterious ending. I don't know which one it is. Is it this one? Yeah, so like this song, I was thinking would be interesting for the Souls Eternally Sealed, because it sort of like wraps up the story, but like the very end it hits you with this sort of like what the fuck is gonna happen next, like tension. I'll just play it. We'll see. I'm gonna open it because I'm gonna just say we're gonna work on this right now, and then I'll play it in Ableton. That way I can also mix it while I'm listening, make a little more use of the time. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Cube does take a minute to open all the instances of it because it is it's a pretty robust plugin. Hence why we're making an EP with just this plugin. Okay, so this one is pretty simple. You can see here, this is the ending, I think, where we have a little bit more of the interesting things going on. What is this? That is interesting. It's muted though. Okay, so here is this composition. Remember, everybody just kind of died. But now it's sort of shifting to like a slightly positive tone. Sort of making you wonder, like, was this our purpose? Was to serve the cube? Is this for a greater cause? Sort of this mystery. Arrangement could be sped up though. I'm wondering if this is not what I thought it was, actually. That isn't the track I thought it was. However, I think that actually could work as the first track because it has a lot of mystery sort of in this composition here. Here I see I have an F Dory, and I'm wondering if that is true for these. Maybe I entered a scale into these. Where's the scale under here? I always forget. Scale, clip, scale. Okay. F sharp Dorian. At least I saved that. This could work as the first track, and then you kind of have this ending part, which is not super intense, but enough to know, like, maybe I should be cautious about this cube. And then it enters into Whispers of Warranty Yield. So this could potentially work as our first track. There must be this track I was thinking of, but we can work with both here because I already can hear there's a lot of room to add some layers onto here. I can hear a lot of like high-end things happening that could be really interesting. Okay, that's the one I was thinking. So this one would be good for the end because it has a similar thing where it's like everything's destroyed. It's sort of like a like this sound. Oops. I thought that it kind of sounded like almost like a lone trumpet or like a bugle, kind of like somebody playing taps, but like, so it's like a similar thing where it's sort of like a memorial type song of like, humanity's, died in this scenario. What's the purpose of this cube? Is it for a greater good? Extend that arrangement and then end it with this ominous, just like to like just solidify like, oh nope, this thing's pretty fucking evil, and then you realize there's this evil cube that now has the power of billions of souls or whatever, and it's now out there and going to do whatever the heck it's going to do, which would end the EP, and then that'd be a story for another time, so to speak. So that said, let's go ahead and set this one we were working with here. I guess I won't change it because I have it, rename it because I have it open. Well, let's do this. Let's close this. I'm going to regret doing this in a second. Actually, let's do this. See, we're version 2. I think I said this was F sharp Dorian, I think is what I said. I won't put that in there. Let me see. F sharp Dorian, yeah. I try to save the keys in the track titles. It makes things a lot easier down the road. So we'll save that like that. I'm going to rename this folder, this project folder, to track 1, Cube Upon a Hill. This is why I like to have a bunch more ideas. I don't like to just like sit down and say I want to make a 5-song EP and then just like make 5 songs and that's it. I like to have a bunch of ideas to work with and then like rearrange as necessary. So if we're going to have that other song as the last song, then this is what we're losing, which I think is fine. It's very repetitive. I like the drum beat in there. Maybe we can use that sound somewhere else later, but I don't think that it's let's say souls back up, souls option, and then this souls, make sure we're doing this right. Yep, will be our actual song. So we'll call this 5. Souls eternally sealed. Okay. Boy, we're making decisions here. So the only track now with this layout that I am not excited about is Chaos Spread. And so I think, I won't do it now, but I think the next time I stream, I'll work on these other ideas right now, but I'll open this up while I'm talking about this actually. So I think what I will do is I think I need to have one more stream where I'm just like quick exploring ideas, and I think on another stream I'll do another like splurge where I'm just doing like 10-15 minute timers set and just coming up with a bunch of ideas for Chaos Spread, because I'm not, or I'll just think about offline about ways to make that track work, because I like the track but I'm just not sure it's working in this context. I think Edith agrees. Does she agree? Edith has opinions about it. Okay, so here back in this thing again. So while this is kind of playing, I'm just going to be thinking about our arrangement here is sort of repetitive. It's very repetitive. It's not anything groundbreaking or breathtaking. But what it is it's a good foundation for some more layers on top of it. So I'm just going to add in some more layers. In fact, let me name this. What do we got here? This is like our choir. Choir. What's this? Plinks. And then what's this? I hate working with unnamed documents. I don't know, elevator shaft. Spooky hits. Okay. Add in a cube here. Change our controller to F sharp Dorian. Worked in Dorian a lot in this EP. Dorian and Phrygian, I think, are the only two keys I've messed with so far today. Got that. Okay. So let's just listen to this section here. Explore. Most of the sounds here. Don't like the short envelope. Let's turn. Oh, it's in the samples. Okay. I'm just trying to find what in here is like a one shot. Okay, well, I think that's... Some of these don't even play sound. Makes me wonder why they're in here. Seems unnecessary. The one I really like is this Baltic Waves, but it doesn't sustain. Also, is our orbit on? Yeah, a little bit. What's our macro do here? Loop complexity. Loop complexity, how are they doing that? Oh, the volume. Oh, that's why I couldn't hear some of them, because the volume is tied to my macro. Find something that's a little more sustained strings. Arpeggiator, nope, don't want that. It's great texture. Yeah, this is Cube is very powerful, to say the least. I'm just gonna record and just get some texture. Just kind of hitting it with a pedal tone now, more or less. Just sustaining one note. I actually released because I thought that's where it was going to break into this last section, but nope, missed. Okay, so I think now what I will do is overlay these two together. Let's go ahead and look at our MIDI here. Let's select all of this, but we want to edit just our green here. Focus on the green and figure out sort of how what we just played is going to overlay our previous compositions. Because I don't think it quite... Now it's interesting. I'm in this is an F sharp Dorian, but I'm just now realizing that the whole intro section is played in C sharp 1, which is the fifth. Right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's fifth. So, but I was thinking that this was, and then it goes back to the root here in this next section, which explains why we have the two sections and why the F sharp slapped here, I thought, more than it did here. So that said, let's maybe drop this to, because the F is a fourth, so we could put this on a fifth, the fifth of C, not the fifth of R. Doesn't work. I actually was hitting a fourth here and here. Of course, it could have been a I'm not really sure where our melody lies here and how much I even want there to be a melody in this part versus maybe just a couple sustains. get experimenty. Let's maybe follow these here. Let's try to figure out which, if any, notes it should follow. I don't really need to get too caught up, though, in this part now, I suppose. That could work, because this can kind of lead into that little high little bloop 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 sound. Let me just I don't know how much quantizing these actually need. Interesting. Huh. That actually leads really well into that next sound. I wasn't really anticipating that to happen. Okay, let's leave that for now. String texture. And let's add another layer to this. The other thing too about using these old sounds is that this is old sounds. Sorry, make this sound bad. Classical sounds, just like old string instruments and stuff, is that we're working here in a cube upon a hill. So this is sort of the intro of sort of this like artifact appearing. So I want these sort of ancient kind of sounds. So I'm wondering now if I can find something that's sort of like a tribal, something associated with like a tribal sound, something very pre-feudal. Interesting. Man, there's just so many good textures in this plugin. So one thing that's really cool about using the Array Touch, so I can just drip this down real quick, is that this is an MPE controller, but we're not using an MPE plugin. But what an MPE controller is excellent, still enabling you to do is like really nice slides. So I can like take this pad and slide it. And that's because for this particular setup, I've configured my sliding to be a pitch bend. At max, it'll go -12. And so because of that, with this software, it'll match the semitone of the destination key I'm going to with that type of bend. So as opposed to like a launch pad where it's got like rigid squares, you can't do that on a launch pad because you're just like scaling it from here to there and it's going dun, 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 just like a piano would. That's like a problem with a piano. You can't, it's physically impossible to get that level of expression out of a piano other than the pitch bend wheel, which is what this is functioning as. Except with this, I can precisely say I want my pitch bend wheel to go from my root note to my fifth note in my scale, which is really amazing. But what I was kind of hearing when I was playing this with these slides is that we kind of have like a theremin almost sound in there, which is sort of like an alien sound, right? So having those like alien slides but still have that like organic texture in there is kind of creating sort of an interesting sort of story and telling that this is like an ancient cube with these textural sounds, but it's also like an alien object, which is what we're getting with sort of that theremin sounding slide. So I'm just gonna throw some business in here, sort of mess around with our composition, just so I know we are working F sharp, B1, F sharp, D1. So 1, 4, 1, 6. No, wait. 1, yeah. One, 4, 1, 6. Got it. And is that the whole thing? Just looping that? We might address this because this is just 4 loops of the same thing, but it depends how we can texture it. Maybe we can texture it real nice. One, 4, 1, 6. The other thing I like about this is I can like color code everything, so I know definitively these big pinks are always my root, and you can literally change every single color of these. So I set these colors in a way I could easily know what's my first, third, fifth, seventh, sixth, fourth. Yeah, very, very sweet instrument. I'm gonna record again because I kind of found more what I'm looking to do. Sounds be wild. Okay, that was something. Did I not record that properly? Oh no, I did. Okay. Just kind of playing with the sound a little bit, seeing. What it sounds like an octave down. Nah, you lose it in the mix. I like the string texture transitioning into this part, but I think it's kind of overwhelming the mix a little bit, so I'm just going to go ahead. That's the thing with this, with Cube, is that you don't need a lot of instances to make a lot of bang. So we're going to just go ahead and lower this section to be a little quieter. And I always, anytime I'm, I guess I don't need that down there anymore. I forgot that was down there. Not that you need to see my face either. I don't know. I don't know what you want to see. Maybe you don't even want to see it at all. Just turn off all my videos. Just have it be black. You'll never know what I'm doing. One thing I like to do with recording automation for gains is I don't like to mess with the actual mixing knob here, because that's going to make it harder to mix later if there's automation tied to this knob, because you have to like select all the automation and move it up and down. I like to add a utility and automate this gain knob and have that be, excuse me, my volume automations. Personal preference. Okay. Also going to hit those strings with micro shift, which is going to spread it the width. It's already pretty wide, but man, what was that pop? It's like we had a... we have a note on here? Or is that just how long the release is? That should be how long the release is. So let's go ahead. Mess with that. Yeah, global envelope. Let's turn that release down. A little less. Oops, loop was on. Not sure I ended up looping the whole track, but okay, I'm wondering if there is just another. We don't have a whole lot going on the low end. We have two things kind of competing on the high with those little plinks and this little. This is kind of a kalimba sort of. So I'm wondering if I can add in. Wondering as if like. It's gonna be like, no, you can't. Just quickly add in some low end, and then once I wrap this, I think that'll be the stream for the day. But I'd like to stream much more frequently, and I have actually been streaming a lot more frequently. So just gotta keep it up. So let's go to dust, which kind of has dusty sounds. Let's go to basses. And maybe an intimate bass? Nah, it's a bit of a stretch. What does Lunacy got for picks? That is dope. Not for this track, but I like that, so I'll like it. That's really cool too. I'll like that one also. That's cool too. I like all these. Just not what I'm looking for this one. Here we go. Just kind of softer low end like this. Just out of curiosity, what does depletion sound like? Oh, I've actually used this in another. Actually got that in another track for this EP as a track that got rejected, but nonetheless. And our macro is more bigger. Is the description bigger? There's a master volume button hidden here. Master. Alright, this is just as a kind of a low end layer, so let's just mess around with this in here. If we go up an octave there, that's 2 bananas. Just a really subtle low end. Without it. With it. Can you get with it? Nope, I cannot get with it. That sounded horrible, an octave up. I'm still kind of bored. I get bored of this composition here. It's very repetitive. I almost need to change things up a skoosh. But I don't really want to dive too deep into that right now. So I think I will take a note of that and fix that later. But yeah, okay. So this sort of being our Cube Upon a Hill intro track. It could definitely use a bunch more layers. Yeah, I'm gonna need to listen to it more though. So what I like to do now, basically off stream, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna export everything, and I'll essentially have more better versions and updated versions to listen to for this, and then I'll listen back to everything. If I like to wait a couple days, like at least 2 days, to listen back to everything, and I'll listen to see how cohesive everything is sounding, if we made the right decisions, went in the right directions, or if we still need more tracks. What I don't have is anything for Bloodlines End. So what I'm going to have to do is a stream where I'm just creating tracks specifically for that, and who knows, we might end up with other tracks that work for other songs. You never know. You might find one that's better. Any of these tracks that kind of are in between tracks that are good but not good for this, I'll probably also just have I'll just probably release them as individual things or something, or just a full track for people just to mess around with or remix on their own or do whatever they wish with. We'll see. But yeah, so we made some progress today. At least we have a couple songs locked in that we know we're going to have, and we know where they're going to be in the EP. Really 4 songs, 4 of the 5 now we know we're going to keep in there. It's just a matter of making them a little bit better. And then one section which is sort of empty, which you guys, everyone, Rain's Bean, Panda, you guys both said you like this Bloodlines, that one I was working with. So maybe I figure out how to make it stay and work. We'll see. But either way, we are one step closer to the One Synth EP challenge, which there's not like an official challenge for this. I just like made a video about Cube, and I was like, this is actually pretty dope, and I like the sounds, was pretty inspired by it. I'm like, I'm just gonna make an EP out of this. Once this is done, I will probably actually continue doing series like this. It's kind of a fun challenge to make an EP with something like this, except what I will do instead is I want to do maybe like an EP where I'm using all of these Behringer synths, maybe an EP where it's mostly focused on the Moog subharmonicon, and then also is the got a Korg Minilog XD over there, which that is also a beast of a synth, and I could make a EP easily with that as well. So I think I might do that in order to sort of kind of hunker down the gear I have. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of sample and stem stuff released with that as well. So there'll be more coming on that as well. But anyway, thank you for watching this next step we took along the way to try to create our EP. We're getting there. We're getting there. I thought I would be done by now, but been getting distracted by some work stuff and holidays and whatnot. So we're getting there. See you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.